When we look around us, we see a world of extremes. Modern society has everything, as it continues to forge ahead in its development. On the other hand, many part or whole countries struggle for survival, with hunger, thirst, disease and poverty holding back their development. The Literacy Box Trust has a mission of helping teachers and pupils achieve their academic and educational aims. The Trust was formed after Rotarians from Roborough, Plymouth saw firsthand the lack of educational supplies in southern Africa and pledged to do something. This was achieved by finding out what schools needed and sending these materials to them in blue and red boxes. To ensure that continuity of education is achieved, these literacy boxes are sent regularly to the schools with which we work in Zambia. We support disasters, try to feed the hungry and supply clean water with its life and health-giving qualities. But only by education can communities work their way out of poverty. Where schools exist in these developing countries, the pupils are a delight. They're extremely polite and, childhood pranks apart, very respectful of adults and authority. They're very cheerful and desperate to learn. Sadly, even where policies are in place to support education, a lack of finance and school resources, along with the threat from AIDS, means that educational opportunities are limited. A situation that we saw first in the rural areas of South Africa and which is mirrored throughout many sub-Saharan African countries. In Zambia, AIDS is a big factor in how and when children can enter school. Sometimes children are in their teens before they go to primary school, as a result of having to look after AIDS-affected families. But there is hope, because where children are attending school and have received education on AIDS, the incidence is dropping. So giving children every chance that through education they could deal with the twin threat of poverty and AIDS.
There have to be 56 children crammed in this little room with so little furniture, probably about 8 to a desk, if they get a desk at all. And it has very little ventilation, as you can see from these little cement windows. We here have one of the windows of the classrooms. As you can see, no glass left. So when it rains, the children get rained on. And I can see here that we've got 11 desks for all those children and a very poor floor on which they have to sit to do their work. Is that right? Do some of them have to sit on the floor?
Yeah, most of them sit on the floor.
We have also got a blackboard here. I'll just move around, but that is just blackboard paint on the wall, which seems to work quite well until the wall becomes pitted.
In order to help these children, the Literacy in a Box Trust was set up to support the education of children, primarily but not exclusively in Zambia and in sub-Saharan Africa. Our core program is School Aid for Zambia, which sends essential educational materials to children in Zambian schools. We work in partnership with Operation Sunshine, a charity that sends clothing and essential domestic goods to communities in Zambia and Tanzania. We rent space on their containers going to Zambia and send literacy boxes filled with educational materials to schools in the communities in which they work. It all arrives safely and to great excitement, giving them hope. Well, here we have our display box, which we use to promote the work of the Literacy Box Trust. It has every item in it that is contained in a standard literacy box that we send to Zambia. It's got the exercise books, it's got the pencils, the coloured pencils, the biros, the rulers, pencil cases for them to keep their pencils and pens in, and the backpack, which has become very popular in order to carry all their bits and bobs, because they walk up to 4 or 5 kilometres to school every day, a lot of them. So this is our literacy box. Boxes have gone to the Philippines, they've gone to Zimbabwe, but the majority go to Zambia, which, as you know, is our core programme. We send what is needed. There is a standard literacy box, but we always check with teachers and supply exact requirements, whether it is A4 exercise books instead of A5 or math sets instead of colouring pencils. Most literacy box contents are based on the essentials of education that we take for granted. It is not right to send literacy boxes, raise hope, then move on elsewhere. We are committed to give continuity of supply to ensure that education is not interrupted. To achieve this, we need to send 400 literacy boxes each year to the schools with which we already work. It would need 250,000 literacy boxes to give every child in Zambia an initial set of school supplies. Upon request and where funds allow, we also supply textbooks linked to the local curriculum. We order the books through the local publisher in Lusaka. The books are then released to the local school, a simple but effective process. To receive feedback spurs us on. The children are animated and incredibly grateful, even sensitive enough to understand how difficult it must be for somebody who's lost a dear one to send a literacy box in their memory. They have said this in their thank you letters and is very touching. Literacy box support continues to grow as UK schools increasingly become involved, as they find out about our work through the work of Rotary clubs and social media. The literacy box is a catalyst as Rotary and schools work together. Everyone benefits from these partnerships. Pupils get that warm feeling from helping their colleagues overseas. And by working together and fundraising, they display citizenship whilst learning of the lifestyle of those they are helping overseas. Both are key parts of their curriculum. Rotary can offer service with projects such as Rota Kids and Interact, and these also help schools with their curriculum, and for which Literacy Box can be a focus. There is even a Rota Kids and Interact in Zambia. The Literacy Box Trust benefits from increasing donation streams, but the biggest beneficiaries are the children in Zambia, who receive the literacy boxes and, where possible, textbooks. A huge thank you from the children for all that you have done to help, but please spread the word to help keep the donations flowing, as without these vital contributions we cannot continue our work. We can't work without a constant cash flow, and in that sense we do hope that you'll be able to support us.